Good evening, my dear grade 4 students. How are you? I hope that you are all safe. So now that we have finished from the live session, and I'm sure that you have understood everything in the lecture and you have solved or tried solving the worksheet, now it's time for you to check your answers. Okay, stay with me and I'm sure that you will get a great result at the end. Okay, exercise A. Here in exercise A, we have to answer the questions with complete sentences. The questions are based on the vocabulary word, so our answer must be related to the vocabulary word used. Number 1, why might someone have hesitated before answering a question? Imagine that you're in the class. Why would you feel hesitated if the teacher asked you a certain question? Why? Maybe simply because you don't know the answer, that's right. He was not sure of the answer. We can say that maybe the person is not sure of his or her answer. So you can simply write he was not sure of the answer. Number 2, what might a hungry dog do desperately? So let's say that there is a starving dog, very hungry dog. So what would it do? It will look for food everywhere, simply. Number 3, who might you speak with to get inspiration for a story? Maybe everyone has an idol person that inspires him or her. So simply you can, maybe some would say, I would ask my mother, I would ask my teacher. Okay? Here I chose a friend. I might speak to a friend because I take my inspiration from my friends, so I might speak to a friend. 4, what would a coach advise the team members to do? Imagine that you're among a team and think of it. What would the coach advise you as team members to do? He would advise them to practice harder, or he would advise them to encourage each other, or he would advise them to focus on teamwork. Number 5, why might children act uncomfortably around a stranger? Why? Especially children, when there are strangers, they don't feel comfortable at all. So what would your answer be? Because they don't know that person. Simply, when you don't know someone, you cannot act comfortably around him or her. Number 6, what often happens to people when they are humiliated? Okay, imagine, it's not a good thing to imagine that you're being humiliated, but imagine that you're humiliated. How would you feel? Sad, for sure. Okay, so they might feel sad. Number 7, why should robbers be held accountable for their actions? Robbers, those who steal, okay, like steal shops, stores, what else? So why they should be held accountable? Because they did something wrong, so they have to be responsible for their actions. The last one, what can happen to help improve your self-esteem? How would you improve your self-esteem, your self-confidence? Get a positive feedback from a teacher, encourages you, improves your self-esteem. Getting a positive feedback from your mother, from your father, from your sisters, or from your brothers, all of these improve your self-esteem. Part B, about the genre. If you remember, our genre this time is realistic fiction. Okay, from its name, realistic fiction, let's like brainstorm our ideas. When we say realistic fiction, you can directly know from its name that it's a story. But what about this story? Okay, it hasn't happened in real life, but it can. So you see, realistic comes from the word real, and fiction comes from the word fiction, imagination, we mean. Okay, it's made up. When we say fiction, we mean it's made up. Okay, so which of these is it true about realistic fiction? Circle all the correct answers. Let's see. A made up story, number 1, is a made up story that could really happen. We mean it's not real, it's made up, written by someone, but it could really happen. It could happen in real life. So yes, the realistic fiction is a made-up story and it could really happen. 2, it cannot happen in real life. It can't happen in real life. No, for sure no, because we said realistic fiction, realistic, so it can happen in real life. 3, it has illustrations and dialogue. If you remember in your story, there were pictures and drawings, right? And there was a dialogue between the characters. So yes, it has illustrations and dialogue. Number 4, it has beginning, middle, and end. Yes, sure, it's a story and it has a beginning and middle and end. So the correct answers are 1, 3, and 4. Okay, now we have the part respond to reading, which where the questions are about the story. Okay, in the story, Mora has a big problem. Tina's actions have affected her. Read to see how Tina's actions have affected Mora and how Mora solved the problem. Read the lesson, then answer the questions. So here you have must read the story and you have must try to answer the questions. Now it's time to show you the answers. Number 1, use the feelings bank. The feeling bank, we mean here the bank that includes the words brave, angry, excited. Since they express feelings, we call the bank feelings bank. Use the feelings bank below to state how Mora's feelings changed throughout the story. Let's see how her feelings changed. Action number 1, Mora telling Tina about the talent show. So why did she tell her about the talent show? Because she was brave, because she was angry, or excited? No, excited for sure, because especially when you're excited about something in school, you directly tell your friend. 2, Tina refusing to do the juggling act that Mora suggested. How did Mora feel at that time? So now we used excited, we still have brave and angry. For sure she would feel angry. The last one, Mora standing up for herself. When you stand up for yourself, then you're feeling brave. Number 2, what is Mora's problem with Tina? What was the main problem with Tina that Mora faced? Mora's problem is that Tina always takes charge. Tina always wanted to do what comes to her mind. She couldn't ask, or she didn't ask Mora about what she thinks, if she agrees or not. So she wanted always to take charge. So Mora's problem is that Tina always takes charge. Number 3, how did Mora solve her problem? How did she solve her problem at the end? Mora stood up for herself. She stood up for herself, okay? Okay, now that we have reached the last part, the third question, which is related to phonics, and it was a graded homework. I think that all of you have submitted your homework till today, so I have time to correct them for you. Now we have to write the spelling words that contain each sound below. We have to put it under the correct group. Write the spelling words that contain the matching spelling of the long A sound. The first group is the long A spelled A. Again, I repeat, when we say spelled, we mean it's written as A, only A. Okay? So which word here in the bank has a long A spelled A? Let's read the words. Ate, pale, face, today, claim, graze, ache, faint, bale, clay, stake, rail, cane, slate, drain, they, stray, obey, major, break. So the first word is major. Major, okay? Major is the long A spelled A only. Long A spelled AY. So now I have to write the words that have long A written as AY, spelled AY. We have today for sure. We have clay and we have stray. Now we move to long A spelled EA. Long A spelled EA, written as EA. It's steak and it is break. Both words, steak and break, have long A sounds spelled as EA. Long A spelled EY now. I have two words which are they and obey. We continue also here with the same question. Now I have the group of long A spelled AI. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. They are claim, faint, bail, rail, and drain. Now long A spelled spelled E, consonant A consonant E. Let's move to with that group first. We have pale, face, graze, ache, cane, and slate. And the last one, long A spelled EI, it is 8. Okay? So now that we have reached the end of our solution, I hope everything is clear for you. It's time for you to revise your worksheet and get prepared for your quiz tomorrow. Stay safe and bye bye.